Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're here with Eldrazi Aggro. As mentioned yesterday in my video, I more or less feel like Eldrazi ramp is pretty much solved, at least my version of it. So I am going to pivot and try out another deck, see if I like it. If I do, then, continue to test it. First deck on the docket is Eldrazi Aggro. Steam Vent, so this is looking like Prowess. Shot Show Off is a bit scary. Bobble, I mean, I have nothing, so I'm just going to pass in full. Just show off to Yard. Bobble target me, or target self. Regardless, that's 4. Down to 16. Draw. And there's all his dust. So if we can make it to 7, then we're in a good spot. Name Eldrazi. Well, I will cast Line Break. The question then becomes, do we attack in? And I think the answer is no. We just kind of need to sit back and survive. What I really need is probably a green or another colored source for Writhing Chrysalis. This is kind of the debate I think I'm having, is whether or not Writhing Chrysalis is good, or if Sowing Mycospawn is better. Chrysalis is more explosive, but Mycospawn's more consistent, as it only needs one colored source, and it's hard to argue with pitching a double Soul Land start. So, something to think about. There's Corey Steel, DRC trigger, show off trigger. Alright, do you have another 0 cost? You do. So Corey Steel cut trigger, DRC trigger, show off trigger, keeps it on top. So we're going to take 5 down to 11. Alright, colored source. That is not a colored source. But what that is a way for us to kill or destroy the Corey Steel cut. So exile Corey Steel cut. Next question becomes, do we attack? I'm not entirely confident in us being able to block the DRC next turn, is my only qualm here. So I wonder if we should attack. At the same time, giving them any amount of extra damage is not recommended here. I need to just survive long enough to cast all his Dust or Sire. Mishra's Bauble, target me. Draws a card. Wooded Foothills, Mountain. Slick Shots Show Off. And Lava Dart. Lava Dart would probably close it out. I think even a Bolt might. Bolt, down to 8. So it comes down to DRC. If they float it, we're dead. They do not. 8. Oh, they do. Oh, the Bolt gets it there. Yes, so I cannot do anything. I take the 9. Yep, that's that. Yeah, this is maybe one thing that has me questioning the competitiveness of Eldrazi Aggro, is that if you want to play an aggro deck in the current format, what would you choose, right? And that kind of becomes the question. What would you choose, whether it be Prowess, Energy, or Eldrazi. I feel like if you're comparing aggro side by side, Prowess is just objectively the better choice. So I don't know. On the play for game 2, we have an early TKS. Ugin Lab, Imprint Ugin, pass. And pass. Thundering Falls, Surveil, keeps it on top. And draw. Herald. Well, let's start with TKS. See if you can disrupt their game plan. Wear, Tear, Mutagenic Growth, DRC. Yeah, we'll get rid of the DRC. I don't want them sculpting their upcoming draws. So DRC down. They can go Swift Spear, and we're not going to block, obviously. There's Swift Spear, attacks, blocks. 19, draw. Secluded Courtyard. We'll play it that Heralds. Ugin now only costs 6. I'll play Unclaimed Territory, name Eldrazi. Fetch Arid Mace. I probably should have attacked in retrospect, because we're not blocking right now. Another Swift Spear. This is getting a bit uncomfortable. Target me. We'll take the hit. Down to 15. Bobble, trigger, draw. All is dust. 2, 4, 5, 6. Unclaimed Territory, name Eldrazi. 2, 4, 6. All is dust. Go to combat, swinging for 7. Yeah, they should probably be at 7 instead of 12. Realistically speaking, we should have attacked with the TKS last turn. Draw. There's a forest. Play Unclaimed Territory. Name Eldrazi. Down to 5. Lethal's on board. Fetch of the Wooded Foothills. Down to 4. Put a pause on end step. And Bone scoops it up. Okay. We do want our gemstone back. We can cut the TKS and run it back from there. Yeah. Very draw dependent. And we have plenty of hits, don't get me wrong. I'll keep it. We have, yeah, a lot of hits, so we'll keep. We'll make it work. That's not one of them. Hit that Heralds. So you'd love to see a Line Breaker, love to see a K Command, Glaring Flesh Raker. I think the main thing we don't want to see right now is a Writhing Chrysalis. Swiftspear, attack. This tells me they might have a Monstrous Rage, but they use a Monstrous Rage here. I'm kind of okay with that. So I'll take the bluff. Yeah. It's far less impactful by comparison. We'll draw. Null Drift. Play Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. I think I will evoke here. Draw 2. Ugin. Not necessarily what I wanted to see right now. Again, Writhing Chrysalis would be ideal. Preordain, trigger. All's Dust would be good. Wooded Foothills, fetch. They went top, bottom, draw. There's a Corey Steel Cut. Trigger 6 down to 10. Draw. Oh, you got to be joking me. Pass. We have so many hits and we're just whiffing hard. So Sire's 7 deaths here would be ideal. Mutagenic Growth. That's 6. And I think that's lethal. Yep. I mean, we just drew in the bricks. It was a bit of a fragile hand to begin with, but that was just... The draws were pretty bad, especially after we dug a bit deeper with the Null Drifter. Alright, well, it is what it is. Sometimes we win some, sometimes we lose some. We'll be back for match 2. Alright, enter back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. I mean, if we draw into a soul land, we have 8 hits off the top. It's not bad. If we draw into just a land, it's also okay. We'll keep it. Not my favorite hand in the world, but it is workable. Delta fetch. 4. Watery Grave Shock for Thoughtseize. Yep. Probably want to grab the Glaring Flesh Rake. Because, yeah, if we draw into a soul land, that would be less than ideal. Draw. Yikes. Name Eldrazi. And pass. And pass. He's drawn to a land. Yeah, I mean, I played the numbers. We have 23 lands. So we have 22 hits off the top right now. Oh, this is Esper Link. Second main. Thoughtseize. Well, it takes the K command here. It takes the Null Drift. Draw. Dude. 22 hits and we whiffed 3 times? Yeah, 3 times. There's the Bailmerk. I mean, would I take a similar hand with E-Ramp? Dude. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, we can't really do... Actually, no, we have some plays. Once again, if we draw into a Onyx Drift, I'll pitch... I guess we should have pitched the Writhing Chris. I don't think it matters. I think we just lose. Our best outcome here, quite literally... They should have activated Relic Progenitus, target me, then Flicker Progenitus. That would have been the right move. Okay, there they go. Like, if we draw into a soul land, we can Wayscape Battle Mage and exile the Overlord of the Balemark. That'll give us a bit of time. There's Ketra. Draw. Nope. Yeah, that's rough. Okay. He attempted to play the numbers, and the numbers played us. Like, we more or less were at probably like a 45% chance per draw there, and whiffing 5 deep is a little bit absurd. We want the Wayscape Battle Mage. We can cut the Gemstone. We want Fleshraker, Linebreaker, TKS. I'm not sure. I guess Null Drift could be cut one here. And like a TKS. And I guess we just need one. Yeah, so we'll just cut Null Drift. Because all it does is good here. Ugin's solid, Sire's solid. On the play for game 2, Mulligan. I will pitch Wayscape or K Command. I'd say maybe K Command, actually. Yeah. So Lab. Imprint, cast Herald, pass. I mean, this is the best turn 1, turn 2 line unless it gets disrupted by push or Thoughtseize. So they're going to take the line break. Yeah. Draw. Another hit that Heralds. Play Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. Yeah, no reason to play the Wayscape right now, so we'll just play another hit that Heralds. Go to combat. And pass. Flooded Strand for Thoughtseize. Takes the Wayscape. Down to 10. Flooded Strand fetch down to 9. Do you have a Fatal Push? Gala Shrine to 7. And push. Yep. I mean, you've done a lot of work for me. Play Flesh Rake, go to combat. I mean, we just need the trigger Flesh Rake enough times here. Shouting Backstreet. Lethal's on board as well. Flood Strand to Yard. And passing. Trigger, and Bone scoops it up. Bone scoops it up. Good stuff. Alright, well, we want the Gemstone Caverns. I'll cut the TKS and run it back. Mm-hmm. 8 hits off the top, so very similar hand as last time. It just might be that like one-landers are just not keepable. But again, like I would keep... Understanding variance, I should keep this hand every single time. Because if we draw into a soul land, we go turn 1 Herald, turn 2 Line Break or Flesh Rake. And we'll keep it. We're going to run the numbers again. Let's see if they screw me over. Just a land will do, but we have 8 soul lands that'll make this hand fantastic. We have 22 hits off the top. And I get an exact number. Yeah, 40% draw. It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. Name Eldrazi. Hold up Dismember. Fetch for a secluded courtyard. Or Shadow Backstreet, rather. Hold Dismember. Flooded Strand. Thoughtseize. Takes Flesh Rake. And passes. Draw. Thank God. Name Eldrazi. Cast it that Herald's End. Pass. Flooded Strand, fetch. Meticulous Archive tapped. Keeps it on top. And pass. White Orchid Phantom, that's fine. That is one less land for us to find, admittedly. I will go for... Let's go for a forest. I guess we should just maybe go for the waste, actually. I'll go for the waste. K command X1, or X0 rather. Hit that Herald's End. Go to combat. The 13 will pass. Black. Fatal Push. Holding back. Draw. TKS. Cast Wastegate Battle Mage. Passing. No attacks. And pass. Fatal Push. Fatal Push. And passing. Draw. Yeah, I mean, I think we just pass. I might K command and cycle. I'm debating whether or not maybe I should have done so last turn. End step, I'm going to cycle the K command. Done. Please give me a land, thank God. Name Eldrazi. Line break. Go to combat. Line break, target, self. Solitude. Solitude, target, line break. Do you have an EFEM? You do not. Pass. And pass. I feel like we have opposite issues right now. Overlord. Grabs back the Solitude. I guess you could go for Felia here. But grabs the Solitude. Draw. Flesh Rake. We'll pass. And pass. Flicker Wisps. Target the Overlord. Overlord will pick up a white card. The white card will get pitched to Solitude to exile the Flesh Rake. Yes. Draw. Oh boy, oh boy. Cast K command. Scry draw. Done. Trigger. Always yield. the Solitude. Exile the Fleshrake. Makes a spawn. Bottom draw. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. Dismember, target the Overlord. Go to combat. Attack of Wasescape. Down to 11. I mean, we have a Cyrus 7 deaths in hand. If that resolves, things get very complicated for them. Witch plus Meadow tapped. Thoughtseize takes the Sire 7 deaths. Takes the TKS. That's strange. Down to 16. We draw. I mean, yeah, we just win. Bone Scoops. I don't know why they didn't take the TKS. Or why they took the TKS. I'll take it, though. Alright. Well, we'll be back for match 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. I will keep... I would love to see a Temple off top, so 4 hits. Otherwise, a Herald, so 8 hits. Even a Wasescape would be fine. Whiffing on those. We'll go Secluded Courtyard, name Eldrazi. And pass. Hedge Maze tapped. Preordained to yard. Oh, son of a... Yeah, that sure is Neobrand. Draw. Play a waste. Cast Glaring Fleshraker. Good news is that I have Grafdigger's Cage in the sideboard for this matchup, but just miserable. Passing. Draw 7. Draw 7. Attack for 8. Draw 7. Oh, there's another Allosaurus Rider. Shock down to 3. Eldritch Evolution. Gulta. Xenagos. Terastodon. Yeah, I'll concede here. Actually, kind of see what they sacrifice, if they do. Oh, they had another Gulta. Oh, so they're going to sack first. Uh-huh. Yeah. And then they drew 12. Gulta. Murktide? What? What did he sack? Another Freyalise? Okay. Yeah. Take 8 down to 12. So what you really want to do about it, I'm just putting it out there. You could You could activate Grizzlebrand twice. You have enough life, and clearly you like drawing cards. I think it would be in your best interest. You get to draw cards, and then you take your turn. And I'm dead on board. There's nothing I can do. Yeah. I will concede. Yes, I'll concede. All right. That sure was a game. Neobrand. Lost for game 1. Yeah, E-Ramp wouldn't have been able to do any better. So let's bring in the Graph Digger's Cage. TKS is good here. We can cut a Gemstone. Null Drifter's doing Jackal. So we can cut one of you. We can cut probably a Wastegate. Like, you still want the normal package of Linebreaker, Fleshraker, Herald. Writhing Chrysalis to bridge the gap. Thought-Knot Seer to disrupt. So I think a Wastegate is fine here. Let's do that. So yeah, we're looking for the Graph Digger's Cage. I'm wondering if, like, 3 Trinisphere would also be good on the play. Mulligan. Definitely mulligan. Opponent keeps 6. I don't think I can keep this. It does nothing for the first 2 turns. Mulligan. Jesus, mulligan. Keep. Pitch, 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 pitch. Done. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Pass. Force. Draw. Secluded Courtyard, name Eldrazi. Escape Battle Mage. Pass. Pass. No death yet. Waste. Combat. Pass. Misty Rain, Fetch for Surveil. Wait, why are you shocking in the breeding pool? Planner Genesis. Puts a card into hand. Hedge Maze. Draw. Imprint Dust. Go to combat. Pass. Somehow we're alive. Red. Line break. Trigger target self. Pass. Lethal's on board. Misty Rain. Hedge Maze. Keeps it on top. I'm scared. Preordain. It must be looking for like a piece. One top, one bottom, draw, mystery. Do they have it? There's the rider. I mean, I guess if they just play the rider and nothing else. Neoform. Eldritch Evol- oh no, Neoform. They want to make it sure it's uncounterable? Sure, I guess. Gulta. Grizzlebrand. Draw. K command. Target self. X equals 3. Another line break. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm trying to figure out here. I mean, this is top no matter what. I think I go top, top, draw, flesh rake, pass, line break, target. It's 6. Pass. Combat. That's 20. I have to block Gulta. Down to 2. Draw 7. Allosaurus Rider. Eldritch Evolution. I mean, Terastodon. Can they cast Terastodon? I think so, right? Or can they pull Terastodon, rather? Freyalise. Sacrifice Gulta, draw 13, gain 13, up to 18. Paying cost for Neoform. Neoform into a Troxel. Yeah. Reading Pool tapped. Lethal's on board. I wonder if I should have just gone for the Allah's Dust and just bottomed all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, draw. Because, yeah, now we have it that heralds the end, but that doesn't do anything. Because we cast it, they can choose not to block. Yeah, we'll concede. Well, that's Neobrand for you. Alright, well, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. We'll keep, it's a bit awkward. And I'm starting to like Writhing Chrysalis less and less. Like, when it's good, it's great. But when it's bad, it's just a brick in hand. Draw. Temple. Pass. And hold. Bloodstrand fetch for I'm gonna guess Watery Grave, Shock, Frog, Snow-Covered Island. What? Huh. Interesting. That's all I have to say about that. Interesting. I'm gonna play Unclaimed Territory and name Eldrazi. I'm gonna hold the K Command X one and might just play it as a permission spell. And I guess I don't need to play. Interesting. Play it as a permission spell. Because we have the Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. I'm tempted to Wasescape it, but like we don't really need to. Red, green. Trigger. Always yield. So much for using Counterbalance. Blue. Otherworldly Gaze? So I think they really were trying to use Counterbalance. Huh. And the 4 Cavern of Souls will make it difficult. Fascinating. We can always Wastegate Battle Mage if we really need. Wrath. March. Okay. So, I mean, they have ways to deal with the Chrysalis. TKS. I will cast... Nope. I will cast TKS. Blue, white. Rainstone, draw 3. So I guess they're going to be putting whatever the strongest thing is tucked away so I can't Thoughtseize it. Path to Exile, Brain Surge. I guess I'll take a Path to Exile. Go to combat. And hold. Terminus. Sack 1. Always yield. Sack 2, always yield. Terminus. Resolves. Any order. TKS target you. Resolves. K command X equals 2. And done. Counterbalance. Blue, Otherworldly Gaze, trying to find... And because it says... Because on the stack, it's 4. So they need to find a 4 mana value spell. 2 to yard... Do they reveal? Declines, resolves, Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bottom, top, draw. Hollowed Fountain. Unclaimed territory, name Eldrazi. Ugin, target. Counterbalance trigger. Declines. Does Ugin resolve? It does. Plus. And pass. And pass. So yeah, if Ugin ults, we win. Just straight up death. Teferi bounces Ugin. Bounces nothing. Ah. Draw. Ugin plus. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Writhing Chrysalis. Target the fairy. Writhing Chrysalis. Target nothing. And pass. Yeah, like I said, if they don't deal with Ugin here, we just win. I guess I should be worried about an orange chant, maybe. Because an orange chant, if I were to ult Ugin and the orange chant in response, would suck. Free Narset. Narset resolves. Let you find an opponent. And Bone scoops it up. Alright, we'll take the win against control. We didn't see the orange chant. However, there's a thought that maybe some number of Trinisphere would be right. Wayscape does deal with Scepter, which is nice. Oh no, actually, if we want to bring in Trinisphere or not. I mean, it does also mess with Terminus, which is a thought. Let's run it back as is. So again, we have 8 hits off the top for Soul Lands. And we have 22 hits off the top for the Wayscape. I'll keep it. Draw. Waste. Pass. And pass. So roughly 40% chance per draw. Draw. We'll take it. Imprint all is dust. Attempt to resolve Glaring Fleshrake. White, blue, reprieve. We'll pass. Another soul land would be nice. Just another land would be nice then maybe. We could go Wasescape and a Wasescape. Flooded Strand. Passing, draw. Unclaimed territory, name Eldrazi. I think we stick with the Flesh Rake though. Flesh Rake. Consign. Fetch Flooded Strand. I guess maybe there's an argument to go Wasescape, because when they counted a Wasescape, then we still have another Wasescape, so we have multiple casts. Maybe. Prismatic Vista. Narset. Harbinger. Draw. Secluded Courtyard. I mean, I could actually Wastegate bounce. Or something to cast it all over again. I mean, I'm not exactly upset by that thought is the thing. Pass. Just cast again. It just taxes them a bit, which could be relevant. There's the Harbinger. Draw. The combat. I'm doubtful they block, but you never know. So if I go Wasescape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't have enough for the line break is the only thing. I think I still send it though. Pass. Again, we're just kind of taxing them. Otherworldly Gaze. 3, 5. And it's back in hand. And pass. I guess maybe bringing Dismember would have been good, assuming that a Harbinger was an option. I'll have to block eventually. Harbinger. Draw. E-Temp. You currently have 6. Down to 12. We'll pass. And pass. Interesting that they wouldn't attack there. Combat. Would have liked a land, to be honest. Blocking. Down to 10. I will cast a Writhing Chrysalis. Red. Green. Oh. That's awkward. That's awkward. Okay, in that case, we'll hold back the all is dust on the off chance it's relevant. We'll pass. Brain Surge. Maybe looking to set up a Terminus. Could be why they're willing to give up the Harbinger. Resolves. And there's the Terminus. And we have the line break next turn. Any order. I guess we actually don't have any way to shuffle our deck, do we? Down to 8. To Fairy. Minus. And draw. In that case, red, colorless. Line break. Reprieve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can play anything in our deck right now except for the Chrysalis again. I'm coming back to that conclusion. Maybe I don't like Chrysalis. 2, 4, 7. We could get rid of Teferi. I'm gonna say no, leave All's Dust in hand. And hold. Teferi plus. 6 cards in hand. Passing. I still can't play Writhing Chrysalis. We'll attempt to resolve the line break. Line break. Go to combat. Line break, target self. Attack you. Path to Exile, yes. I'll say for... I guess for green, as that has more applications. Yes. And land, trigger, no, and pass. Otherworldly Gaze, sign up the top of their deck. Alright. Plus Teferi. And passing. Draw. Start with Writhing Chrysalis. If they have another Harbinger, it'll be hard for me to cast Chrysalis here. A bit worried about them setting up a Terminus is the only thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think I just have to go for it actually. So in that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we can use the All is Dust. So Sire's 7 deaths. And hold. Supreme Verdict resolves. Alright. Teferi Plus. Another E-Temp. 2, 4, 7. All is Dust. I want that Teferi gone, please. Force negation, yep. No reason to play the E-Temp, we'll hold. And take his Archive trigger. Teferi minus. And passing draw. Null Drift. Cast Null Drift. Draw 2. Consign Brain Surge. Looking for Consign. And this is ward what? Ward 3. Draw 2. Paying cost for consign. Yup. Alright. Drifter down. No draws. And pass. Do they activate all the Storm Giant? Celestial Colonnade. That will be 4 damage. It does have Vigilance, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Alright, well, down to 16, Teferi Plus. And draw. TKS. Attempt to resolve. TKS. Counterspell. Oh, pass. Fetch with Flooded Strand. Old Fountain tapped and passing. Fairy Plus. Another Hall. Paying cost for Colonnade. Yep. We'll take 4 down to 12. We're not dead yet, but man, are we close. Draw. If that heralds the end. Cast. If that heralds the end. I'll return All is Dust. All is Dust. And then pass in full. Paying cost. Counterspell. Yes. And pass. It's a fairy plus. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Celestial Colonnade attacks. This is 7/7, right? So we'll get pushed to 8. Or is it an 8/8? Hold on. 7/7. I was right. Draw. Flash Rake. Go to combat. Attack you. Path to Exile? Path to Exile. For a mountain. Flash Rake. Pass. Path to Exile. Get lost. Okay. Pass. This is only at sorcery speed, right? Yeah. Celestial Colonnade for 4. Down to 4. And to fairy minus, draw a card. Surprised they didn't bounce some map token. Brainstone, yes. Draw. Cyrus 7 deaths. Map, target sire. Map, target sire. Put reveal card in graveyard, no. Play Eldrazi temp. Pass. Imagine they Brainstone. Brainstone. Looking for a Terminus. There's Terminus. Uh-huh. Alright. So that's a loss for game 2. Celestial Colonnade. And dead. I guess actually I should have played the Cavernous Souls instead of the Temple because they didn't know about the Temple, but they knew about the Cavernous Souls. It wouldn't have mattered, but was relevant. Well, I will bring in Dismember, cutting Gemstone, and cutting a Drift. Drift or a Dust? Let's say Dust. Run it back. Alright. On the play for game 3, I will keep Ugin Lab, Imprint, Dust, cast, It That Heralds, pass. And pass. Would love to see a red source off top, but a TKS on 2 is not bad either. Go to combat. Attack with It That Heralds. Temple. TKS. Does a resolve. Floodstrand fetch. Hallowed Fountain Shock. Nope, just a island for a consigned memory. So yeah, we need a colored source here. Whether it be for a Line Breaker or Null Drifter to evoke. a whole. Pass. Temple. Combat. 15. Attempt to cast Null Drifter. I should have actually cast Null Drifter before attacking, admittedly. Draw 2. Null Drifter resolves. It does. We'll pass. And pass. Hallowed Fountain, tapped. Sire 7 deaths. I'm actually going to stick with casting Null Drifters here. I want to draw into a land, please. Draw 2. Somehow no land still. Combat. Annihilator trigger. Sacrifice island to 18. Lethal's very much on board. You have a Terminus. And Bone scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright, we'll be back for match number 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. I will keep. Because, yeah, we're looking at it that heralds into a Flesh Rake. Not the best hand, but still pretty good. Eldrazi Temple. Hit that heralds. Pass. And pass. Gala Shrine Shock for a Thoughtseize. Hits Glaring Flesh Rake. Fatal Push, I'll take it. Secluded Courtyard, name Eldrazi. Flesh Rake, pass, and pass. Thoughtseize hits Writhing Chrysalis. If you don't, you take 6 damage next turn. Well, I guess at least 4 from the Chrysalis and then 2 from the Glaring Flesh Rake. Takes the K command. I think that's incorrect, but that's my opinion. Witch Blessed Meadow, so it's looking like Link again. Draw. Thoughtseize Bug. Name Eldrazi. So red, green, triggers, always yield, always yield. Go to combat, down to 10, and hold the K command. I guess we could have played the Wastegate, but this way we do have access to a 7-mana value spell next turn. Do you play Ketramos? Emperor Bones resolves. I mean, you can take that heralds, but that's pretty moot. Yep. Draw. Null Drift. I could bounce the Emperor Bones, actually. Alternatively, I can just K command it. If I bounce it, it costs 4. So 4, then we'd have 2, 8, 8, 6, 6, 4, plus, yeah, we'll do Wastegate. Kick it. Actually, I'm going to do it like this. Trigger. Cost. Fatal Push, target Flesh Rake. That's a bit annoying, admittedly. I can pump it up to 6, up to 8, so not lethal damage. Attack for 3. We'll hold up the K command X2. Paying cost, Emperor Bones. Solitude. Solitude targets. Writhing Axe. That resolves. Two cards in hand. Clearly no EFM. To 4. Emperor Bones. Target Solitude. Adapt. Do it. Carousels, name Eldrazi. Wayscape Battle Mage, attack. What say you, opponent? K command. Let's... Do I want to ramp Exile? If I ramp, I won't have enough for the drift, so I think I'm going to Scry Draw Exile. And done. So we could play Flesh Rake. So let's go bottom, top, top, exile, adapt trigger resolves 2. And I need a solution for Flesh Rake. Pass. And pass. Emperor Bones. I mean, I guess you could grab the Flesh Rake, but me casting this Null Drift, just evoking it, will be the end of the game. Don't even need to evoke it. We can just cast it. Draw 2. Trigger 1. ETB. Trigger 2. Alright, we got there. Okay. Let's move on to game number 2. We don't know if it's Ketra or not, so we'll bring in the Dismember regardless. Thinking about what we want to cut, though, for the Dismember. We can cut a Null Drift. I'm thinking maybe a TKS, because we still want that Herald, we still want the Wayscape, Glaring Flash Rake, etc. So yeah, I think a TKS is right. Alright. Yeah, I think Dismember's right until we know whether or not Ketra is being played. Gemstone Caverns is good. I'll play the Gemstone, exile the lab, and pass. So this is a line break on 1. No fetch, so no Thoughtseize. K command X equals 2 next turn. So red. Do you have a fatal push? Otherwise, 4 damage on turn 1's pretty good. Shadowy Backstreet. Puts a Flicker Wisp to Yard. Interesting. Solitude, pitches a Flicker Wisp. It's pretty aggressive, I'll be honest. Alright, ideally we draw into a 7-mana value spell here so I can K command X equals 3. That would be ideal. Otherwise, an X equals 2 is still fine. I think they have a Felia. Draw. Get that Heralds. I think I hold up the K command here for X equals 2. Resolves, K command, X equals 2. I think we scry draw, actually. And done, Felia down. I mean, not next turn, but the turn after we can sire. So I think we go top, draw, and pass. And pass. Vindicate, that's rude. Draw. I will go Ugin Lab. Do we want to imprint? It would insulate it from a Thoughtseize at least. Yeah, I'll take my chances. And hold up Dismember. Recruiter of the Guard. Recruiter will find what? Could be another Solitude. So this tells me that they don't play Ketra since we've seen the Recruiter. So no Ketramos. Good. White Orchid Phantom. Gala Shrine tapped. Alright. And draw. Glaring Fleshrake. Attack with it that Heralds. Play Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. Cast Glaring Fleshrake. And pass. And hold. Paying cost for White Orchid Phantom, I'd imagine. White Orchid Phantom, ETBs. I will return Sire to hand. Yes. We'll go for a waste. Gala Shrine tapped, 1 card in hand. Writhing Chryss. I'll cast Writhing Chrysalis. Red. Green, colorless. Always yield. Always yield. And always yield. Stack. Go to combat. Do you want to double block? I mean, if they do, and they flicker, that's fine. Because at least I get an Ephem out of hand. Or not flicker, but Ephem, yeah. What are we thinking, opponent? I mean, clearly this is bait. They have to know that it is, right? Yeah, they recognize it as such. We'll pass. And hold. What are we thinking here, friend? We have a reach blocker. There's Overlord the Bailmerk. That will resolve. I imagine you grab a Solitude. I'd be surprised if you didn't. There's Solitude, casting, Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp will target the Overlord. That will resolve. Overlord will then be able to grab another white card when it ETBs. Yep. Grab whatever white card, White Orchid Phantom or otherwise, returns another Solitude. I will hold the Dismember. Play Secluded Courtyard, name Eldrazi. I should be smart about this. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. Oh, I overtapped. 1, 2, 3. Oh, because of it that heralds, yeah. Solitude ETBs. Flash Rake's still in the stack. Flash Rake is down. Well, that's unfortunate. I did mess up there. Would have had another spawn that we could have attacked with, theoretically. Go to combat. Attack. Blocks with Recruiter. And we'll just dismember the Overlord now. And pass. And pass. So they need a Solitude to deal with the Sire. That is non-negotiable in this instance. What say you, opponent? There's the Trawler. Trawler will act as a blocker. We'll empty my yard. That's fine. And draw. No reason to reveal the E-temp. You have 8 toughness. I mean, they would have to give me their entire board if they want to kill the Writhing Chris here. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I guess I should have attacked with It That Heralds and Eldrazi. Oh no, because if That Heralds is blocked by the White Orchid, right? So they're down. Yep. We now have pseudo hexproof on Sire, which means this should just be GG's. I don't foresee a way for them to get out of this. And we got there. Alright. Well, that there will end today's league with a 3-2 record, so not bad. Our main losses were to Prowess as well as to Neobrand. I mean, Neobrand is kind of to be expected. Unfortunately, we just didn't see our Grafdigger's Cage, even though we dug pretty deep. Prowess, maybe there's an argument with the amount of Prowess going around that I should run main deck Chalice or main deck Trinisphere. Chalice I can see the argument for because we have a decent number of 2-mana value spells, and having them cost 3 mana kind of feels bad. At the same time, Chalice is one of those cards where it's not like the best for Prowess. Trinisphere definitely is better, and Trinisphere has more applications outside of Prowess. It can heavily impact Prowess, Energy, Ruby Storm, Neobrand, etc. So I'm thinking maybe Trinisphere main could be the answer. Maybe not 4 of, maybe some number of that we could consider. We'd have to figure out what the trim though, and that I'm not entirely sure about. I'm also not entirely sure about Writhing Chrysalis. While yes, it is highly impactful when it does resolve, the mana restriction can get pretty at times. Where you have double soul lands, you don't want to pass that back, but then you kind of just have, I think at one point we had 3 Writhing Chrysalis just rotting in hand, doing nothing. So something to think about there as well. Otherwise, I think it just comes down to getting enough data for play and opening hand data to figure out kind of the balance on, okay, how many If That Heralds the End do we want? How many Sires do we want? How many Writhing Chrysalis or Sowing Mega Spawns do we want? Etc., etc., right? So that will just come with time. I'm going to give it a bit more time. Personally, the play pattern's okay. I do like... I'm finding myself as like, it could just be the fact that we've played so much E-Ramp that, I'm just sitting here going like, yes, I want to play E-Ramp. I want to play that style of deck. And the only other deck that is like exactly of that style would be Tron, or at least similar in that style. So we could, refine E-Tron. I don't think that it is better than E-Ramp. Just the degree of consistency that E-Ramp has in comparison to E-Tron is significant, right? So I think from that perspective, I'd be a bit more hesitant of E-Tron. I also look at E-Aggro or Eldrazi Aggro, and if we're comparing aggro decks, I just don't know if Eldrazi Aggro is competitive enough in order to compete with Energy and Prowess. Definitely let me know your thoughts there. I think this deck definitely has room for improvement, but I'm just not entirely certain if it can get to the point of like Eldrazi ramp in that same sense. So we'll have to figure that out in due time. But with that being said, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It is always appreciated. For as much I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers, which at that point, I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, which will allow me to start saving up towards a streaming PC so I can stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over on my Patreon, where you can get early access to my YouTube videos, as well as any updates that I make to my deck guides. With that being said, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!